welcome back. It's White Boy Lockdown Radio. We're going to get into this story. If it's your first time here, go ahead, man, and smash the subscribe button down here. Right by the subscribe is a blue word. It says join. Watch it. There's an extra video right there. Quick perks in it if you become a member. And a big shout out to my members that actually listen to this part of the video. Everyone else just wants me to get to the point. A big shout out to you, man. I appreciate my members, man. And they always get A+ content and they always see it first. So this one here, smash a like. This one here, I decided to do this video because I have a list of ideas that I've said a bunch of times. And before I can go further into it, get to the videos that I want to get to, I wanted to do this video for a few reasons. For this channel and for the prison channels in general, people always talk about Tucci or K2 and Spice, and there's stories behind it. Okay, I don't know. I would only imagine people that have been inside the prison. Obviously, you know what that is. Okay, you have to if you've been in prison. But you know, a lot of people have not been to prison that watch these channels, and I want to just tell you how this is in Florida about K2. Okay, look, I was gonna name this video Tunchi, okay, instead of K2, Tunchi. The real reason that I didn't, because I don't even know how to spell that. Is there an N in that? Is it Tucci? Is the N silent? Is there an N? I don't want to battle with the Weenie Boys off top about if there's an N, if it's a silent N, if it's not Tucci, because Jesus, it'll go all day. And I try to answer comments. I don't want to battle with the Weenie Boys. But I would like to know, leave it in the comments, is it Tucci? How do you spell Tucci? Somebody. So look, Tucci, that itself, why is it, it's K2, it's a spice, right? It is synthetic bud, okay, is what K2 is supposed to be. Tunchi, and there's another Lil Wayne saying, or another Lil Wayne word that they use, and it is just, it's always flipped around on the inside of prison, okay? It's the throw off, man. You know, you don't want to go around and say, hey man, you got K2, and you're yelling across the yard, because the police are going to know what it is. Look, trust and believe me, they know what Tucci is, and they know, and they will learn the new Lil Wayne word for it, or whatever word gets called K2 or Spice, you know, is what the pound will use. But the time before the COs learn it, it's just a word, you know. Before they figured out what Tucci was, hey man, what's up with that Tucci? If the COs don't know what it is, you know, listen, I fell in that category. I remember like, what is Tucci? And then someone had to tell me, okay, I know K2 is Spice is, but I'm not hip hop. Hip hop's not my life. But look, this stuff is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's just not. Look, that has got to be, I would say, number 2 to a cell phone. Cell phone is always going to be your number 1 hustle inside of prison, because just for so many aspects, man. I've made videos about this. People want to get on that pipe. They want to check their social media feed. You haven't seen it. It's not like it's been a day or two. It's been years. Okay, people want to talk to their old ladies. The conversation is different on the cell phone. It's not, you know, the wall phone is not listening to you, recording you. Listen, people are fighting cases in prison, and they have orders not to talk to the witnesses or the defense, whatever it is. They can contact them. Hey man, drop the charge, whatever it is. So you know, and it's a hated thing inside of prison. I've said this a bunch of times, because the prison does not want that going down for all types of reasons. Plus, you can take pictures of the food, record the stuff. It's obvious. But behind cell phones is K2, Spice, Tucci. It's all the same thing. It's not going anywhere. Dudes will smoke their time away. And I would imagine it's like that anywhere in Florida. Okay, you know, I told a quick story about Tucci. Just the aspect of this, the hustle part of this. It's when I say there's money in this, you have no idea really what I mean unless you've done time. It's very hard to explain if you haven't done time. You know, when people say making money in prison, there are the dudes, you know, even if you haven't been to prison and you've been to the jail itself, there's, no matter what jail you go to, you always have the store dude. Okay, hey man, I got oh, your money's not on. Here's 1 for 2. You borrow a soup, you got to pay him 2 back. So it's all profit for that dude. Okay, there's them dudes everywhere. I know that for a fact. Okay, that's just like land money. That dude's making money. He's doing that little hustle, and he's always going to be canteen good. Okay, he's not going to have to go without. He might only have to call a few times and get big orders. Okay, and always lend stuff out because it's always coming back. He can just eat his profit the whole way, whatever it is. But that's just canteen rich, canteen money. When it comes to Tucci, they say get it off the land. And that's exactly what that is. That guy would be getting it off the land. He's getting paid in profit, them soups. 2 Snickers for 1, 2 soups for 1. Sometimes they do a 3 for 4, a 5 for 6, whatever it is. Okay, depends how good you know them. But it's all land money. What land is you're getting it off the land. Okay, if I call home and say, hey man, I need $50, man, send it. I have $50 to where I can go and spend that $50, add and subtract it, and get exactly what I want, manage my money to the T, okay, and I might have a few dollars left over or whatever, but I can buy exactly what I want. $50 my money is not $50 land money. If I bet somebody on a football game and we bet $10, okay, it's either land money or your money, okay? Land money would be, if I won and it was a land bet, he can just go and get, I'm just using an example. Let's say a honey bun was 89 cents. That would be $1 on land money. So if he brought me 10 honey buns, that's the equivalent to 10 land dollars. Okay? Me and you both know 89 times 10, everybody should have $8.90. If you don't, get out of here and unsubscribe. But it's $8.90. It's not 10. Okay? Business-wise, you need dollar for dollar, right? But that's just how prison is. It's land money. A lot of Tucci is made off the land. Okay, it's land money. Okay, it's also, you could also make that same football bet, and it's like, and you stipulate, hey man, I got the Dolphins over the Cowboys. Listen, I'll bet you $10, but I want list for list. None of that land crap. That's between you and that dude. Okay, but that's a whole different ballgame, gambling. You shouldn't be doing it. But when it comes to the other source of money, okay, there are a few avenues here. We talked about land money. We talked about, hey, I need $50. Okay, that's the majority of how people get their money. Hey, mom. Hey, girl. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, whatever. I talked about dudes writing queers and stuff. Hey, man, I'm thinking about blowing you. Can you send me 200? It's weird, but it happens. Okay, there's all types of ways to get it. Okay. Now there is the whole green dot and all that going on, all right? Whole different ball game. And I didn't want to talk about this because I always think about if I don't want to say too much. I don't want to be that dude on the internet, that dude in the prison community. But when it comes to this topic, there is no way it can be stopped. And that's what I'm going to explain. Green dots and stuff is when you're making money in prison, when you're hustling in prison, and you're able to say, look, you got somebody who's smoking Tucci a lot. Okay, he is living and dying for this stuff. It's literally like the equivalent to a crackhead or a person addicted to heroin. Okay, I'm just saying, they're not gonna stop. Okay, by any means necessary. The same way, a crackhead does not have a job or he can't pawn anything else, or a heroin addict. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to go steal to support their habit, okay? Look, I've even heard, okay, that's just for the average male dude that's using drugs. What does a woman do when she's strung out on drugs? I'm not talking about all women, but when women get to that level and they don't have money and they don't have a job, they're sitting on $1 million, okay? So they can do what they got to do to get what they need. Hey, look, it's no different in prison, except we're not talking about popping cherries. We're talking about that berry. that man butt, okay, look, it goes down, okay, it just does. But that type of person is better off. It's better off not selling his butt, but instead of him doing whatever he's got to do, okay, he might be out of money, and he's looking around the dorm, and everybody might whoop him, so he doesn't want to attempt to steal anything this day or in this dorm. Maybe he goes to medical and pulls a stunt and comes back with a whole bunch of medicine that somebody needs. Okay, they don't have to go and put in the medical thing and get the money off their account because they can pay him to do it for less. And it's sealed medication. Penicillin's a big one. Ibuprofen's a big one. Okay, but whatever he's got going on, he's better off coming to somebody because he's got a big habit and being like, look, how much for the ogre? How much for the ounce? And you're going to get more for cheaper the more you get. It's just like any other substance. But instead of him always trying to chase the stick, always trying to chase the joint, he can get a whole ounce if he gets on the phone. Usually, you never want to do it on a wall phone because they're listening to that. They can listen. They have the ability to listen to every single phone call that's made from the institution, but not a pipe. If he gets on a pipe, hey, look, man, I need, listen, just send $200 to this chick's name, this chick's Cash App, this green dot over here, send it over here. What's happening is inside, he's got the connection, and the dude that's got the Tucci don't want the land money. He don't want the honey buns and the peanut butter and all that. He don't want it. He don't want the dude to sell his butt. Well, what he wants is him to send the dude to send his people money. Cash App my sister, my cousin, whatever it is. It's always a throw off. You never want to let this dude that's selling his butt know that it's your old lady, or it's maybe it's your mom, or whoever you got going on out there. You don't want to let him know. So it's always the throw off. Hey man, it's my baby mama's cousin sister. But the Cash App is this right here. As soon as there's confirmation, yeah, he sent it. Here's this. Okay, that is the way you can send money home in prison. Okay, it is not easy to get there. It's not easy to get there. For a long time, I have sold a lot of Tucci. Okay? I've told one video, look, I have smoked it myself. I definitely didn't sell my butt, but I've tried it a couple times. It just was not for me. It was not for me. It did not, I only hit it once, twice, every time because of stories that I've told on here, especially the last one with the dude who called the whole gang out. But it wasn't for me, but I can understand how people can't get off it, man. And I used to sell it. That with cigarettes is all I needed to do, okay? But with Tucci, there's a lot of drama, man. A lot of drama. The drama comes into play when the pound is dry. I mean, it's not often that this happens because this is a hustle that people are going to always... People are, no matter who it is, what gang it is, what compound it is, they're always going to have cigarettes on that pound. They're always going to have Tucci on the pound. But they're never going to let it go without because there's money to be made. When you're able to make moves like this, you can send it home. So it doesn't take a genius here to look. K2, Spice, Tucci, whatever you call it, it's inexpensive. Okay? For a while on my second bid, it was very easy to get at smoke shops and whatever else. Then towards the end of my bid, they did something. I don't know if FDLE ended up doing it. I don't know what happened, but they made it. They had that synthetic drug law come into effect where it wasn't that easy to get. Like you used to be able to go anywhere and get it on the streets, but they know everything that I'm saying in this video already, so they shut it down like that. But there's still spots you can get it at. And the price went up a little bit, but it's still inexpensive. And, the value of something on the street, it's like 10 times, if not 20, the amount on the inside, okay? A lot of people that watch this channel know what Suboxone strips are, okay? Look, Suboxone on the street go for what, 15, 20 bucks? In all reality, they may cost, if you have insurance and stuff, we're talking about maybe $1.25 a strip or cheaper than that. Depends what you have insurance for. Okay, but they go for, 15, 20 bucks. In the chain gang, you can take that strip and cut it into 10 pieces, man, and you can get 20 bucks a piece. So you're talking about at a minimum, man. Look, you're making that anywhere between $1.50 to $225 off one Suboxone. Okay, and that's really blessing somebody. Okay, depends how dry it is, depending on how many Suboxone strips are on the compound. But you see the amount of money here. We're talking about something worth 15, something in all reality worth maybe $1 to $3 on the street, but at street price 15 to 20, 10 times that amount. So it's easy for somebody on the inside to take advantage of this, okay, and just find a dude that's on his butt, whatever. And look, he can keep sending it to his baby mama's cousin, sister's friend, and the cash app is going to grow. As long as that person's trustworthy, they can take care of what they have to take care of on the street because they have to get the stuff, pay some bills, and put a little bit away for Bob because Bob is always sending it there. It's never going to stop because when you can get to that level of sending money home, it's hard to turn away from it. It's hard to turn away from it. The problem is with the drama. Look, I've said this before. I've been in fights. Almost every fight that I've been in prison was behind either somebody not sticking up for. I told a few fight videos on here. They were both indirectly involved with Tucci. Okay, one time, a buddy of mine. He wasn't banging at the time, but it was me, him, my buddy JD on the channel, my buddy Raven that's been on the channel. We're all in the dorm together. But my buddy, the dude Kyle, he had all this money coming in. He had a lot of money, so he took it and he invested in Tucci, and we were selling it. But the dorm, it was starting to get dry, and man, the gangs in the dorm. Look, you really detox off Tucci. I hate to compare it to marijuana because I don't know anybody who detoxes off bud. Anybody who really smokes bud, you don't really go without it. It's not an expensive, well, it can be an expensive habit, but now they have it legalized and everything else, but you don't detox it off it like you would maybe a Suboxone or heroin or Percocets. You don't detox. You might be grumpy if you don't have it, but you will off K2, okay? And it was getting dry, and they just try to put down on the white dudes. Yeah, hey, look, and the next thing you know, we tore up the dorm. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten a lot of the stuff that I got into. But it happens a lot. Gangs will put down, okay? Look, there's numbers for reasons, and you got to remember, man, you could be the average Joe, you kind of get along with everybody in the dorm, and you're making moves. You have the finances to kind of do this, but you got to remember where you are. I don't care who you are. If you make a move for an ounce of Tucci, 2 ounces of Tucci, I just kind of ran numbers by you guys. If you're standing alone and you're in the dorm with 4 or 5 GDs or 4 or 5 Bloods or 4 or 5 Crips or 4 or 5 any gang, and they don't have as much as you have, or they feel some type of way because you're in their dorm, they got more than they are more than you because you're by yourself. If their lockers aren't full and they're watching you make money in front of them, if they let you do that, then they should not call themselves to be gang members. Because the gang members that I know are coming to take that from you by any means necessary. And that's where a lot of the drama happens, man. But, it's never going to go away for the simple fact that I want to tell 2 stories right quick. I understand this is getting long. It's going to be a longer video, so stay with me. It's just never going to go away. You have the whole aspect of what I broke down on the financial tip, okay? It's one thing when you have years to do, you can only make the situation better for yourself. You're not going to be in prison miserable. You're going to be miserable, don't get me wrong, but when you come to the point of reality where you have to deal, you have to sit and deal with this time, there's nothing you can do in your power to make this time go away. The only thing that you can do is make the situation better for yourself. And when you can start doing it and making the land money, and then when you get to the level of the green dots, you can start the wheels start turning, and you're like, man, I'm in prison, and I know that my sister's brother's cousin's friend has at least $6,000 right now stacked up for my jump. Okay, look, I have some time left to do. I want to get that number to at least 15, 10,000. Look, it's a lot better than $100 the state gives you. Okay, so it's hard to turn away from that, and everybody tries to get to that level. Trust me. Okay, that's when gangs come in, because sometimes gangs will make it to where they're the only people to do it like that. They won't allow anybody else, and it's hard to stay under the radar if there's a bunch of gang members in your dorm. You could try to stay under the radar and do everything that you think in your power it is to do, but the dude selling his butt is gonna put you out on Front Street because he's gonna be coming to your bunk and tapping it at 3 in the morning. So your cover's blown. And they can make it to where they're the only ones doing it, so it's very tricky. But on the other side of things, there's dudes that just want to smoke their time away. I know for a fact, like I said, I tried it a few times. It just was not for me. And I always made sure I tried the lighter stuff, the stuff that was not like the killer stuff that came in. People die off this stuff, okay? And I'll get to that in a second. There's always going to be, listen, in prison, it's flooded with addicts. If you really break this concept down, if you really break it down, I've said this before. If you have a burglary charge, look, drugs, it's all in prison. If you have a trafficking charge, then you're involved with drugs. If you just got a sale charge, you're involved with drugs. If you robbed an air conditioner for the copper, you're involved with drugs. If you pawned a PlayStation 4 and got busted by the pawn shop, you were doing it because you wanted to get drugs on the street. You're involved with drugs. If you had a possession charge, it's all drugs. It's mostly all drugs, except for the weirdos, okay, and even I would say the violent offenders and the weirdos. But look, some of the violent offenders, it's still drugs, okay. But a big majority is drug users. The game itself, there's addicts in there. They're never gonna stop wanting it, man. And when it gets dry, the prices go up. It's just a nut house, man. And most people, I would say 90% of the people who smoke Tucci, they have another habit. They don't even realize it's costing them an arm and a leg. It's smoking cigarettes, which is a whole different hustle. But look, I'll tell 2 stories, okay? And they're not good ones. The first one I'm definitely not proud of, okay? Look, when you're in prison, you have your clique of friends, your bros, and there's going to be times where you guys want to all throw in something and make a nice meal. All of you guys can skip the chow hall and just hang out and make big wrap of burritos. Anybody who's been in, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, sometimes if it's your clique, if it's your bros, if it's your people, there's some times, man, where you're not gonna, if it's already planned. Hey, man, make sure that you got some. Everyone's gonna need $5, man. It's gonna be on Sunday. Everyone's gonna, go to the window. It's gonna be $5. We'll make a list, this and that, blah blah blah. There's gonna be times where your bro is going through it with his wife or his people, and he don't have the $5. So look, man, you're gonna go to your other bros and ante up and cover them, man. Look, if I got it, you got it, right? But there's always the dude that never has it, but he's still your dude, though. You know what I mean? But you're just like, damn, dude, go get it off the land or something. We always gotta wipe your butt. But there's always that dude. There was a time where I just said something, and I did it out of frustration because it was just the exact thing that I'm painting. It was the dude that never had it. He's always dragging his feet. or he gets money and always spends it. But he was solid though, but he was just not good with the money that was sent to him. But as a joke, I said, it was one of these things where we're throwing in, and I'm like, dude, just get on the phone and tell your mom that you owe the Bloods money for Tucci. And I should have never said that, because ding, 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 what did he do? On the wall phone. I felt bad. I felt guilty, man. The dude, he was the type of person who had tough love, okay? I've had tough love with my family as well. Look, people get sick of you going into prison, okay? It's not normal, all right? Or they get mad, and they don't know how to show the correct way of love, whatever that is, but everyone knows what tough love is. Look, his family was very tough loving him, and they would send him barely any money. And, because he had been to prison previous times, they knew he was an addict. So to get on the phone with his mom and say, hey, look, man, I need X amount of money. I owe the Bloods money for Tucci. If I don't get it, man, they're going to do this and this to me. That tough love is broken, and the money's going to be there the next day. Okay, look, I was aggravated and fed up with him and just said it to be like a smart ass and stuff, but I didn't want to do that to his own mother. But at the same time, it showed me what type of dude he was, and we ended up later down the road falling out anyhow. But I used that against him, and look, the dude had heart. He was a dude. He was in my circle, but he just had some junky ways, man. I just couldn't do that to... That's your family, okay? But he did that, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. But look, it was me joking around put a light bulb in his head so he can get funds in. That should show you how serious Tucci is, you know what I mean? But another time, I've told this story before, but I really never got into it, and I definitely want to get into this. I told a story where there's a dude named Paul Wall. Just look for the thumbnail. You'll see Paul Wall, the white rapper with the golds or whatever. It's in the Hustle series playlist section. This was a white GD. Me and him were all right. He was definitely a wannabe black dude, but he was always hustling, man. He was in that gang, yes, but we would slap box and stuff. The dude slept by me. He was wannabe black, but he also knew he was white, I guess, if that makes sense. And he was just an all right dude to talk to. But to recap on the story, I'll put it on the end screen because it's actually funny. He was coming back from the visitation one day, and he walked in the dorm, and I got up and I yelled, "Hey, Paul Wall, hurry up and shit! The whole dorm's waiting to smoke!" And everybody started cracking up. And it was good because in prison, everybody is alpha male. Everyone's letting their nuts hang. There's a lot of tension, and just for a few seconds, everybody was laughing. So it's kind of a good feeling. But when I tell you he slept by me, okay? And I had a single bunk, and there was a bunk in between us, and then Paul Wall was in the... If you guys are walking into the room, you're facing me. He was all the way in that corner, okay, on the bottom rack. And he came back after he got the stuff out of his anus, okay, and he was sorting it out with one of his brothers on the bottom bunk. And there's a bunk in between us, and I'm sleeping on the next bunk. The smell was disgusting. Disgusting. I want to say it smelled like poop, but it was like... If you've ever stepped in dog poop, it's a very raunchy smell. Imagine the dog poop being a mustache, if that makes sense. And it was such a disgust, like imagine stepping in dog poop with your nose, and instead of it being on the bottom of your shoe sole, it's on your mustache. That's how bad that literally crap stank. It was disgusting. And the process of me almost barfing, the process of him and one of his brothers going through this, okay, Granted, it's wrapped up in a bunch of stuff, but just listen to what I just said about the poop. They unwrap it and stuff. They do what they got to do. The process. And then I see literal money getting exchanged, people getting high. And I remember I was just like so disgusted. I remember I would just like look at people smoking. I'm like, yeah, that came out of his butt. And like they didn't know, and they're all buzzed and high. It was just disgusting, man. I don't even know if I could explain the smell. It was a freaking rancid horror story. I'm talking about baby diapers and man, I can't even describe it. I can't describe it. It's that bad. But people know what I'm telling you. People smelled the smell that I did, and they still bought the stuff. They knew it was in his butt. That's the grip that Tucci has on dudes. There were dudes jonesing, rushing him to wipe the stuff off. They couldn't wait for it to sort out. This is not a COVID clinic where there's hand sanitizer everywhere. You know, as soon as they got done doing what they're doing, it was an exchange for goods. Man, look, man, I'm telling you, I want to make this video on the internet for a couple things. Clear up the whole Case Spice and Tucci thing and educate people. But one thing major, I can guarantee you, this channel only has 3,000 subscribers. I don't know how many views this video is going to get at the time of recording it, but some of you have friends and family in the system. Some of you are sending your loved ones money, and some of you have literally funded the dude waiting for the sorted poop stuff and hurry up to smoke it. You've bought that. I can guarantee you have. So this video, really take it with, I don't make long videos like this. You don't have to leave it in the comments. And I'm not singling anybody out here. But if you think I'm talking to you, the next time you say, oh, you need how much? Man, you better say, hey man, I better not, whatever you got to do, because it's your people out there, to find out if they're smoking Tucci or not. Because man, I'm telling you, man, I seen it all. I seen a dude lie to his own mom, man. And I can't describe the poop, but it's bad. Just understand that. This stuff is not going away. When you hear these, a lot of YouTubers show people like literally twacking out, or like in seizures and stuff. This happens a lot, man. And that's what I'm going to close this one out on. When it was easily able to get to buy and stuff, when you go to any like little quickie mart, thank you, come again, let me get an ounce of Tucci. It was easy to get. When they made it to where it was tough to get, the criminality aspect of this was, it's really not hard to make. Okay, essentially, it's a synthetic drug. Okay, essentially, it really is just potpourri. Okay, with sprayed chemicals. But you know, being said that, you really should know what you're doing if you're going to attempt to do the process. And a lot of times, what happens is that greed that I spoke about, where it's like, hey, you know, the baby mama's cousin, sister's friend, that Cash App, remember that? Hey man, what's up, man? I need about 2 more. What do you mean you can't get it? Man, Google it. What is it? Okay, you can get the potpourri? Okay. Man, I've seen it and heard it all. Dudes get the potpourri, ounces of it. Shh, it's just sprayed chemicals on that stuff, and then you roll it up. I've heard they spray it with Raid, spray it with whatever chemicals are in whatever forums on it. And man, I don't believe forums. I don't even believe a lot of the news that I read. Could you know, I'm sure there's a troll that is adding to the forum. He's just like, yeah, oh, if you spray Raid on it, it works great. And somebody is believing that, and someone's literally sending it in, Paul off the butt, the poop, and then twackout happens. I mean, I don't know for a fact if that's how it goes down, But I'm sure I'm not too far off. I'm just saying, man, if you got people, man, you better make sure your money's going where you think it should go. Because his anus is not where anyone's hard-earned money should go. This is a serious video, man. And until the next one, man, 35 minutes. I better get some likes. Till the next one.